Yes, this petition is requesting an increase for the poker single wager limit in Class F and house bank card rooms. The petitioner is requesting the increase in the poker single wager limit to move from $300 to $400 to align with betting limits for house banked card rooms. For your reference, the last time the commission increased wager limits was in 2023.
Thank you. Any questions for Tricia? Any public comment?
And it looks like the petitioner is online.
Oh, the petitioner online wants to comment. Stephen Jackson. Oh, okay, go ahead, Stephen.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Stephen Jackson. I'm the petitioner in this matter. First off, I want to thank you for your service on this. I know I've been on commissions myself, and I understand that being a volunteer is often a pretty difficult and thankless job. So thank you for your service to the community. The request before you is to raise the betting cap limit in poker from $300 to $400 to align with the betting cap raise that occurred in 2023 on house bank games. The request would bring parity from the house bank games to the non-house bank games, specifically poker, and it also, while the betting limit was raised in the past, it hasn't, for poker, it hasn't been raised, I believe, since 2013. So I do think that this incremental increase will service the community of poker players. I'll also just note that I think the legislative intent behind the strong regulation and the strong regulation of gambling was certainly tested with the raise of house bank games back in 2023, with that incremental raise from $300 to $400. I think that there was significant concern amongst the commissioners that there would be some legal challenges to that, and also not, and that the raise would not reflect the legislative intent. From what I'm seeing, I don't see any legal challenges, and I think the $100 raise from $300 to $400 in house bank games has been largely successful over the last year and a half, 2 years. And so I think that it would align with the legislative intent to raise poker, the betting limits in poker from $300 to $400. I'm happy to answer any questions. And again, I thank you for your time and attention to this.
Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate you being here. Does anybody have any questions? Any additional public comment? Seeing none, we have a motion.
I have a question, I guess, for Tricia. So we did just raise this last year.
So in 2023, you raised the house bank card room wager, single wager limit from $300 to $400. This is a different request.
Right.
This is a request to increase the single wager limit for non-house banked games, but it would apply to from $300 to $400 it would apply to non-house bank card games played in Class F card rooms and house bank card rooms. Okay. So poker, for example.
Yeah. And when was the last time we addressed these particular wager limits?
2018, I recall. Is that?
Yes, 2018. Thank you.
And we went, and that was in 2018 is when we increased the wager limits of house bank card rooms. So that rule change was for house bank card rooms wager increase as well as the non-house banked game wager increase. They were simultaneous. It went to $300. Again, for class F and house bank card rooms.
No. Anybody else have any questions, or do we have a motion? The motions.
So this was just received on December 9th. We have to have action within 60 days, so we have to have action today.
For a special meeting.
Or we have to hold, well, actually, today's the 9th. So we are
December 10th, so it'd be February.
tomorrow. Oh, no, December,
January.
excuse me, February. Well, we have, February meeting is the 13th, so we would have to have a special meeting between now and the 13th.
Okay.
Just make a comment, I guess. Maybe it'll help a motion come forth.
Thanks.
So, as I look at our kind of, legislative declaration, I look at, keeping the criminal element out of gambling and to promote the social welfare of the people by limiting the nature and scope of gambling activities and by strict regulation control. I know that the petitioner brought that forward, and in his perspective and absence of a lawsuit based on our previous action, it can cause that, that if we did this, it would also have a similar fate. So as you read further into the legislative declaration, and it begins to discuss professional gambling and the desire to steer clear of professional gambling in the state of Washington. Seems very clear to me that the legislature, who hasn't updated this or changed this statute since 1996, still feels that we need to have strict controls and limit the nature and scope.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion? Can I make a motion? Wow.
Give me the chair, you can,
Oh,
for the moment, for the issue.
how does that work?
So, generally, the commission has not adopted Robert's rules, which do require the chair to abstain from motions. So therefore you've not adopted it. So this is not really a set in stone area. Typically, the chair has not done so, but there is no clear issue with doing it.
Right, but we don't have the rules adopted, so
So we don't have any.
No,
it's not prohibited, so. I will move to deny the request because I believe it removes gambling out of the, keeping it, what's the word I'm looking for?
Petitioner has his hand up.
Limited.
Who has the hand up?
The petitioners.
Oh. Okay, Stephen, would you have something else to say?
Yes, and I realize that there's opposition to this apparently, but my response to the commissioner isn't necessarily that there wasn't a lawsuit that was filed and some legal challenges. As we've had 2 legislative sessions since this commission raised house bank games $100, and the legislature has not made any efforts to make that rule change back to $300. So it seems to me that the legislature is fine with an incremental increase of $100 for house bank games. I don't see why they wouldn't be fine with an incremental increase to non-house bank games like poker. So again, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, so I moved to deny the petition because the statute says that the public policy of gambling is to promote the social welfare of the people by limiting the nature and scope of gambling activities, and I don't feel that raising it would be within that scope at this time. And moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, motion passes. Thank you.